UFC 259 is this weekend, and our show sponsor, DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of the UFC, has a special deal for new customers. Check this out. If either Blachowicz or Adesanya lands a punch during this week's title fight, DraftKings Sportsbook will give new customers 100-1 odds. There's no better way to put your MMA knowledge to the test than to put your money where your mouth is. Do it at DraftKings Sportsbook. DraftKings is safe, reliable, and secure, making it easy for you to deposit and withdraw your money at your convenience. Download the top-rated DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use the promo code Sonnen and sign up to turn $1 into $100 if either main event fighter lands a single punch. That's code Sonnen for new customers to turn $1 into $100 if either fighter lands a punch. Guys, I feel like I'm getting redundant here, but do you understand this? I do deals all the time. I have never done a deal this easy. Put $1 on either fighter to land a punch. He touches the other guy. You just turned $1 into $100. It's a limited time, and it's only at DraftKings Sportsbook. My final prediction, Amanda Nunes versus Megan Anderson. Guys, whenever we start talking about Amanda, don't we start getting very lazy? Don't we start saying lazy things like, she's the greatest ever, and then you just try to prove that point? She's the greatest ever because she's better than Ronda because she's the greatest ever, and she's better than Cyborg because she's better than Gina Carano, and she's better because we just start telling a resume. And not only are we stating the obvious, it's also a very lazy approach. The question is, who's going to win on Saturday under the unified rules at 145 pounds between Amanda Nunes and Megan Anderson? And when you start to break that match down for the X's and O's, you start to see a few very positive signs for Megan. Megan, and I'll go in order because there's three things, but first off, she can take a punch. Second, she can give a punch. And third, she meets the weight. Very few ladies have ever been in there with Amanda that weigh 145 pounds. They just weighed in at featherweight. They didn't actually weigh featherweight. A lot of them got 139 pounds, 142 pounds. Megan works with a nutritionalist and Tyler Minton to get her weight off so that she can even make the weight. She's a big gal. And when you have a big gal on a big frame who's long, who's lean, who knows how to move around, who knows how to use it, now you're starting to talk not only about power, but about somebody who can deal with power. And Amanda has overwhelmed everybody she's ever fought. Flat overwhelmed them. Backs them up, walks them down. They can't go any further because the fence is there. Boom. And she will put you out or she will hurt you very bad in the process. The only one to be able to stand up to those shots has been the Iron Lady, but you saw at what cost. You saw the wearing and the fatigue of the Iron Lady. That's okay, but that's a lesson. That's a lesson to take away, and that's a lesson for Megan Anderson. Don't get trapped against the fence. She's going to come at me hard, right? If you're Megan Anderson, you know Amanda's going to come at me hard, but she's going to come at me hardest with her hands. I got to worry about those feet. Yeah, she's got some knee issues, but she's going to come hard with those hands, and she's going to do it early. She's going to do it in that first round. So if Megan can move, if Megan can stick, if Megan can back Amanda up, one thing that no girl has ever done or even tried to do is to back up Amanda. But it would seem as going forward that Amanda, somebody who isn't wrestling heavy, could be very problematic for Amanda. It's a guess. What's going to happen is a guess. Generally, not a lot of great things come from power strikers when they're moving backwards. But it's a guess at this point because we don't have anybody who's done it. Even Holly Holm, and Holly's known for standing her ground. Holly went laterally. She didn't go forward and back Amanda up. I think something that could be used and utilized largely just because of the physical size of Megan is to walk the champ backwards. Keep your own back on the fence. Want to know a great way of doing that? Put Amanda's back on the fence. And I realize that we're going to have regurgitated to us numerous times prior to this fight. If Megan can just take her down. Well, she can just take her down. I will concede with you. However, I don't bring that into my analysis or anything else into my analysis unless I have a piece of history to point me in that place. if I could take several fights where Amanda was taken down, or I could even bring you several fights where Megan Anderson had this big George St. Pierre style double leg to take her opponent off her feet, then we would turn to that. But essentially, it's a very basic fight to understand. Two brutes who meet the weight limit, who like to punch and kick in front of everything else. One of them is going to move better, and one of them is going to hit and kick more. And we're going to have our answer to this in the very first round. If Megan Anderson does not win the first round, do not make believe that she's going to come win 2, 3, 4 and drag out a decision by the time the fifth is over. Nobody is going to beat Amanda that doesn't win the very first round. Okay, newsflash. You need to get Amanda's respect. You need to take in charge of the octagon, and you need to do it within the first 5 minutes. Otherwise, it's not going to be done, and that's okay. Your name will go down with a lot of other greats who tried. But Megan has the opportunity, and Megan can take a shot, and that is one thing that many people have underestimated. Go, wow, so Amanda can take a shot. I understand that, but Amanda makes people wilt. She makes them buckle. To wilt and buckle Megan is going to be a new challenge. If Megan can keep her back off the fence and moreover put Amanda's on it, there's a very good chance that you're going to be surprised. And don't forget, guys, a win over Amanda Nunes doesn't just mean you take the belt. If you go 25 minutes, that's win number one. Win number one, you go into a very rare club. If you can win a round, you go into a very rare club that only one other athlete is in. If you can win 2 rounds, you will be in a club that only 3 athletes are in. So it's one of these interesting things that there's moral victories out there, but they're not just within the athlete. And I know that Megan Anderson isn't getting to default to a moral victory. I'm sharing with us as the viewer. We need to have our eyes a little bit more open. We need to have our minds a little bit more open. There's a gap between Amanda and everybody else, but every time that Amanda fights, if you sit back and you study just the footage, just the ideals, just getting a look at the blueprints, what to do, and moreover, what not to do, you can start to close that gap. And it will close quicker than not. I do suggest for you, we're going to see something new. I will also concede for you, it's not going to be a champion. We're going to have the same champion, but we're going to see something new. There will be an exploitation somewhere within this fight, somewhere within those 25 minutes. It's going to take a trained eye. But that is what we really need to be looking forward to when Megan takes on Amanda.